Systemic change is about engaging a community. And one of the things that I've found really useful is it's called a force field analysis. And I've heard it attributed to Benjamin Franklin. And the idea is you take a piece of flip chart or whiteboard or something and you draw a line, vertical line, that represents the status quo. And then you start drawing all the vectors, all the arrows that are pushing in. This would be the positive direction because left to right, you know, like we read left to right. So all the things that are moving us in the right direction go on this side as arrows, and the things that are inhibiting movement in that direction go on the other side. And then you start labeling them. So if this is education, we might say, you know, standardized tests are pushing in the wrong direction because many teachers say, well, I can't try anything new because I have to. And you might say in the right direction, vision. If people can picture what it is they're trying to build, you know, then they're likely to really succeed. And then, you know, on the other side, you might have money, or actually you end up finding that some of these things really are a spectrum, and it could land on either side. It's the same issue, but it could land on either side. But the point is to sit down with a group of people and identify the things that are likely to move things in the right direction, likely to hold things. And then you can develop a strategy that actually enlists the talents and energy that people bring to the table. So you might have somebody who says, well, then I would just sit down and say, okay, so who can do what to change this picture, to make these arrows bigger or heavier, and to make these arrows smaller? Somebody would say, well, I'm a really good writer. I could do a newsletter. And so that vision piece, I could go around to schools that really seem to be doing the right kinds of things, or we could go take field trips to schools, and that would enhance our vision. And then, you know, to reduce resistance or fear of failure is often one of the things that's out there. So, you know, maybe you can develop an administrator who can say, well, you know what, we could tell people that, you know, it's okay to try things. Not everything has to work. And so you end up looking at all those arrows, and then you end up building strategies that change that. And I picture that vertical line as being on a little wheel. And if you start making these things bigger, it pushes the line this way. And if you start, you know, reducing these things, the line will go this way. So you sort of use that image to help people think about what's important, and then how they can organize their own efforts. Or maybe they say, well, we need somebody who's going to do this, you know, first steps. There's another thing I believe that it's important to know what to do next. But anyway, you can say, well, we need somebody to do this, and you can go out and enlist somebody to accomplish a specific thing. So that's just one strategy that I think is useful that systemic reformers ought to think about.